quick question. You guys launched, like Neptune Mutual launched on the BNB chain. And one question that we got from the community was why BNB and why now? I think this is something we discussed on the Twitter space, so it will be great if we can go over those answers again, since most people here on Discord didn't join the Twitter space.
So firstly, we want to make sure that as many blockchain users as possible have access to parametric cover. Why? Because it is simple and it is fast in terms of payout. As I think hopefully the community will know, we only assess the incidents, which means that within 7 days an incident can be assessed. There's a 1-day cool down period. So within 8 days, either everyone gets a payout or nobody gets a payout, depending on whether that incident is validated or not. And being able to offer that kind of solution, so risk mitigation solution to users of as many chains as possible, is we think really important to scale. And as everyone knows, the DeFi insurance space is way too small in comparison to the amount of digital assets that are out there, and in comparison to the risks that those assets are exposed to. And so one way we can scale is to launch on new chains. So it makes sense for us to open up cover protection to the BNB chain. And of course, on the BNB chain, there are a number of projects which are not on other chains. So we're looking also at expanding on new L2s as well. So over the coming months, and we hope to be launching on more chains, again, all with the objective of offering us to as many users as possible this parametric cover, really to protect people from, as they say, getting wrecked, which is really what you want to avoid.
All right, Edward, thank you so much for that answer. I mean, I think everyone can agree that, BNB and Binance in general, there are goats in the industry. So it's an amazing thing to launch on BNB, and it makes it very accessible, right? The marketplace. So I think that's a great initiative from the team. And the Binance Live, if anyone missed the Binance Live, it should be uploaded to the YouTube channel of Binance of the decentralized chain, which will drop on the comments later on, and everyone can check it out. As you can see in our slides, the Binance Live was a huge thing, and like the topic says, spill the beans. A lot of things were told in that Binance Live, including the NFT project, which is one of the most asked questions that we have here on our Discord, which is when is the NFT launch date and from when we can mint the NFTs, which are two important questions, very huge questions. But I think before we can address them, I think we need to learn a little bit about the NFT project. We've seen some images, some information being dropped through the Discord, through the Twitter channel. And we're having an NFT AMA next week just for the NFT project, which is going to be something really huge. It's not just an NFT collection, it's a whole NFT portal. And it will be really amazing. Before we can address these questions, if you can walk us through a little bit about what the NFT portal is and how the collection fits in.
Cool, so happy to do that. And for those of you who really wanted to find out about the date of the launch, please keep listening next week, as we'll be making an official announcement next week about the launch of the NFT portal, which I promise you is going to be very soon, and we'll give you the precise date next week. But this is just going to be an overview. As I said in the last Discord town hall we discussed, I gave an overview of the Vote Escrow NPM token. This time we're going to have a look at the NFT portal. And what I'd say here is, if you really want to go and have a look, then these screenshots that I've taken are from the testnet, so you're welcome to go and have a look. But I have got some screenshots for you here to walk you through. So I just want to double check, because on my Discord I've got my screen is not rolling over. So you should be able to see Discover Neptune Mutual NFTs with an image of Neptune and Salacia standing next to him. Can you just tell me if that's the case?
We can see it.
Okay. In my version, we're just stuck on the NFT portal presentation slide. Okay, so if you can see it, that's great. So the first thing you can do is click on My Persona. So if you can see the screen, you'll now see that you've come through to the My Persona section. And here is where you'll get a first introduction to the different levels that we have, and there are 7 different levels in total. So I don't know if you can see my mouse. I'm going to click just underneath a level 1 and level 2, and you'll see. So in the top of the screen on the left, you've got Guardian or Beast. We're on selecting the Guardians for the time being. So on level 1 on the left, you have Delphinus. That's level 1. And on the right, you have Epic Delphinus, who's slightly more armored with kind of blue eyes and so on. So you have level 1 and level 2. And these are the 2 characters you've got in first 2 levels in the Guardian section. So if you click on level 3 and level 4, we have Aquavallo, and again, looking pretty epic. And so these 2 seahorses are the next level up. And just click on a little bit more. You're now level 5 and level 6. So Salacia is Neptune's wife, and you have Salacia at level 5 and Epic Salacia at level 6. So if we go back to level 1 and 2 and look at beasts, we've got Saber Squatch, and level 2 is Diabolic Saber Squatch. And then we have Gargantuan and Diabolic Gargantuan. So again, level 3 and level 4. And then I'll take you through the process of selection in a minute. I just wanted to talk you through some of these beasts, guardians. Finally, just go back. Finally, level 5 and level 6. We have missing a slide, to be honest. So what you need to do is you need to select the level 1 stage, either the beast or the guardian, and you'll be assigned a soulbound token. And at that point, your kind of NFT journey has begun. And whichever category you choose to start with, so if it's beast that you choose for your category for level 1, then when it comes to level 2, you will be able to mint a beast. When it comes to level 3, you can then make that choice again, so you can switch over at that stage to minting guardians. If you choose a guardian at level 3, then you can then only choose a guardian NFT at level 4, and then you get that choice again at level 5. At level 5, you can choose either a guardian or a beast, and level 6 is then locked in based on your decision on level 5. And then for level 7, level 7 is the ultimate and final level, which is Neptune himself, and so there's no choice to be made there. So you choose your persona, and that's, as I say, a soulbound token which stays with you. And from then on, all of the NFTs that you can mint from levels 1 through to level 7, they're all firstly, they're free to mint, and the second thing is they are tradable. So you can either make the whole collection or you can trade them. Entirely up to you.
I mean, this is amazing. I think this is for everyone who's ever minted or wanted to mint or collect an NFT. This is every collector's dream, right? It's not just, minting or just collecting one NFT. It's a challenge. It's something to look forward to. It's multiple NFTs. It's involved to something else. It builds up the community. That this is just every NFT DGen stream. Like, this is just really amazing to see. And the different options, the different teams that you can join, the different sites. It's just such a great collection, and it has utility. It's involved to something else. It's very well thought how it's community driven. I quite enjoy looking at these previews that you're showing me and showing everyone. And I can't wait for the real thing to come out, right? I'm just, after this call, I'm jumping on the testnet and I'm going through everything just to get ready when the mainnet is ready to launch.
Yeah, and of course, if you go to our website as well, neptunemutual.com, scroll down to the bottom, then you can look at the NFT marketplace, where you'll be able to see this screen. So you'll be able to see the different images that I've got up on the screen here. And so you can have a look through the different categories and so on, and that will give you a feel for the different types of NFTs and the different attributes that they've got. We can have a quick look at the minting levels. You may not be able to see this because I've zoomed it out quite small to fit it all on the screen. But on the top left-hand corner, so you have level 1 and level 2 of the Guardians, and then moving across to the right-hand side, you've got level 1 and level 2 of the Beasts. And really, I brought this up just to highlight that the number in the top right-hand corner in white, so you've got 1,000 for Delphinus, you've got 500 for Epic Delphinus. So those are the siblings. So each of these NFTs has siblings, and you can see down at the bottom, like Neptune has 25 siblings. So these are all NFT images that are all unique because they're different. By looking at the number of siblings, you'll be able to get some indication as to how many different types of NFT there are, and that obviously contributes to their rarity factor. Obviously, the fewer siblings there are, the more rare they are. And in addition to that, obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but we can have a look in a second. The higher levels are going to be rarer than the lower levels, for the simple reason, if I scroll down to the next slide, that these NFTs, they may be free to mint, but in order to qualify for them, they will be going to users and what I call super users of the marketplace. Why is that? Well, our view is that the community should be rewarded based on their active engagement and involvement. That's what we are trying to achieve. And in the first instance, as you can see here, the NFT loyalty program will reward both cover policy purchasers and liquidity providers. And that seems to us totally reasonable to reward both, because we're actively trying to encourage project users, community to purchase cover, and equally, if we're going to increase capacity, we need more liquidity. So rewarding LPs with NFTs also seems a good idea. But as the community probably knows, we have designed and will be implementing over the coming months the NPM emissions for qualifying cover pools, and then the vote escrow NPM token, as we discussed last time. Once we introduce that program of NPM emissions specifically for LPs, it's quite likely that we will revise the NFT portal so that the NFTs rewards and the loyalty program is focused more and possibly exclusively towards cover policy purchases. So you'll have cover policy purchasing rewards, which will be NFTs, and LP rewards, if you like, which will be the NPM emissions. So that's the plan. But by all means, comment. We have the community portal, and we very much want to get the community input into what we do. As I said, the NFT program, we feel that just randomly airdropping NFTs to anyone and everyone doesn't really align with what we want to achieve, which is growth. And the way we get growth is by rewarding those people who are really active in our community and engaged in our community. So that's why we've done what we've done. And we really hope that the NFTs are, enjoyed as the reward that they are for those that purchase cover and provide liquidity. And on the other side, the idea is that the narrative of the guardians and the beasts we can use to get across some really important messages. And we're starting that. You may have seen on the blog some of the lore that's been written about Neptune, Salacia, and there's more coming in terms of the guardians and the beasts. And we want to use that narrative to help explain risks, risk mitigation, and so on in a way that's perhaps a bit more interesting than pure insurance vocabulary and pure insurance speak. So that's the plan.
Absolutely, it's been such an amazing narrative to follow, right? Choose your team. There's this whole story about Neptune, and then this week we had this story about the Guardians, and they tied up to the last week's story about Neptune. And I know, because you've been hinting that there's a Team Neptune, Team Guardians, and Team Beast, that probably next week the Beast storyline is going to drop, and then all tied together in an upcoming final lore with a battle and all the previews that we've been getting. It's just amazingly built, right? The storyline just fits, it builds, and what better way to reward a loyal community than all these initiatives, whether it's the NFTs or the other drops that you mentioned in other town halls. It just sounds very interesting. And for myself, I love an NFT that has a storyline, that has utility, that's involved. It's just not a profile picture. So it's all very amazing. And I appreciate you explaining everything. And I really appreciate that we have a testnet to try out before the actual NFT line and the actual portal drop. So everyone, be sure to check that out after the call. And then, if you have any suggestions or you want to improve anything, or there's anything that you want to see from the Neptune Mutual team, make sure you drop it. That's why everyone is here for. We're a project for the community, and the NFT portal and the collection is built for the community. So make sure you drop that on our Discord, on the community forum. Everyone is listening. We have amazing community managers and admins that are let's say almost 24/7 listening to the community. So it's amazing to hear, and then we're waiting for feedback from the community to make this happen.
Yeah, and just to perhaps finish off on the NFTs, so 4 summary points. Firstly, Neptune Mutual is not selling any NFTs. They are all free to mint. So that's the first thing. The first one is soulbound, and thereafter they are all tradable. So that's the second point. As we've just seen, qualifying for NFTs requires actively participating in the marketplace. And so NFTs mean something. If you see someone that has qualified for a particular level of NFT, then you can have a look at the rewards table and see what was required in order to mint that level of NFT. So yeah. And finally, I think I just repeat that you choose whether you want to be minting guardians or beasts, and you get that choice at levels 1, 3, and 5, and that locks you in for beasts or guardians for levels 2, 4, and 6. So you can choose and change if you like at levels 1, 3, and 5. And just the final thing is, if you haven't already, just one last thing, if you haven't already seen and subscribed to our YouTube channel, have a look there because there's some pretty nice YouTube animations of the NFTs. The design team have done an amazing job of animating them, so definitely worth a look.
All right, understood. So let me get this straight. So after you pick a side, you're able to switch and redirect your trajectory with the NFT collection in level 1, 3, and 5, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so if you pick Guardians at level 1, then at level 2 you can only mint a Guardian. But then at level 3 you can switch, if you like, to having a Beast. So you have a Beast for 3 and then 4. And then 5 you can either stay with Beasts or you can switch back to Guardians. So you'll have Guardians at level 5 and level 6. And then obviously, as I said, level 7 is just Neptune, so no choice to be made for level 7, which I hope as many people as possible will achieve. And I think as soon as the first user achieves level 7, then, I don't know, perhaps we should do something to celebrate.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. Thanks for clarifying. And then hopefully in next week's AMA regarding just the NFTs, we're going to get some more previews and all of this explained in more detail. Now, we've read about the NFT launch and we saw the first video in that Cointelegraph article that the team released last week, which is just kind of the start of so many marketing initiatives that are coming through the team. So can you walk us through all the marketing initiatives and the Cointelegraph article that was published in the previous week?
Sure. So I just put a screenshot here. Hopefully you can all see that. So it was front page for 24 hours, pinned to the front page of Cointelegraph. And really the idea here is just to raise awareness across the blockchain community about the fact that Neptune Mutual is here. It's here to provide cover protection for digital assets which are at risk. And it does so in a way which is reliable and gets people money if they, are involved or have got cover policies in a project which has been hacked, and that hack has been validated by a community. So that's what we want to raise brand awareness about, and the Cointelegraph article was the first and really the major kind of initiative in getting our name out there. So if you haven't already had a look at it, do by all means read through it. Yesterday I think it had got just over 19,000 views, and so we are starting to obviously get our name out there. This is another page, or a page further down of the article where we had 2 embedded videos. These have had over 200 views, probably quite a lot more than that by now. Actually, I put this number in 24 hours ago, so probably ticked up well above that by now. So the vote escrow NPM a liquidity gauge video, we put that in because we're really keen, as I said before, to reward those that provide liquidity and explain how that mechanism will reward LPs when it gets launched. And then obviously the NFT reward program as well, which is why we mentioned it in the Cointelegraph article. And what else? That's it for the Cointelegraph. We obviously were picked up, or they published our article in their own Telegram group, which has 136,000 users. So this is the starting point, and we are progressing. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll be in the Twitter space, or Binance Twitter space tomorrow. So again, join that if you're interested. There is a YouTube interview with me next week, which is going to be recorded on Wednesday. Not sure if it's coming out on Wednesday or not. So that is something else that we are doing. And then later on in the month, so mid-July, I will be at ETHCC in Paris meeting up. Already have quite a number of meetings with some pretty big projects that are looking to provide cover to their communities in our marketplace. So that is another event, albeit a B2B event for projects. Come and chat to us and open up cover pools, spin up a cover pool in our marketplace for communities.
Amazing. I mean, ETHCC, ETH Paris is such an amazing event. So many projects are going, such an amazing networking opportunity. So it would be great to see Neptune Mutual's presence in that event and what's going to come after that, right? Like, we won't see it right now, but after the event happens, we're going to see the network benefits that are coming through. So I think from everyone in the community, we thank you for all the initiatives the project is taking. Whether we're not in a bear market, that's up to debate for each individual user. But the fact that the team is still building and accomplishing things is just it's amazing. So thank you for that explanation. I think we can jump into some Q&A from the community. And I would like to start with some questions that we received beforehand with a frequent question that we have in the Discord chat, which is what are NPMS tokens and how we can acquire them?
Okay, so NPMS is firstly it's only a name that was used in the testnet. So there isn't an NPMS token as such. We just wanted to refer to a DEX receipt token, if you like, because its use or it was referred to in terms of the bond mechanism. So as testnet users will probably know, there is a reward mechanism, which isn't live yet, for rewarding those who provide liquidity, not to cover pools, but to the DEX itself. So if you supply NPM tokens and USDC to either Sushi or to Uniswap V2, then you will get a receipt token for the liquidity that you've provided, a pair to that DEX. And once we launch the bond pool, then that receipt token, depending on which DEX we select, can be used in our bond pool in order to get NPM tokens at a reduced valuation or a reduced price, if you like. Now, that mechanism is available for users to understand and to try out on the testnet. And we just came up with the name NPMS for to how can I put it? Just as a way of explaining that is the DEX receipt that you get for supplying NPM and USDC into a DEX, and it's that receipt that you then stake, if you like, in the bond pool in order to get the reduced NPM. So I hope that's clear to everyone. If the bond mechanism itself isn't clear, then have a look at the tutorials on our YouTube channel. It's not live yet and will probably only become live, I would say, after the vote escrow, NPM and liquidity gauge pools. So it's not happening in the immediate future. And as I say, just to repeat, the NPMS is not a real token. It's not something on mainnet, so not something that people really need to worry about.
All right, understood. Thank you for clarifying that. That's a frequent question. So for NPM tokens, which are the utility token of the project, Edward mentioned previously that where you can purchase them and where you can acquire them. For NPMS is not the same thing. So thank you for clarifying that for everyone here in the community. And then for the next question, I think you already answered this, but when is the NFT launch date?
Yeah, I know. It's great that people are excited and that they want to ask the question, and that's
wait a little bit longer, right? It will be said next week. So everyone, please hold on a little bit longer. You'll get the exact date very, very soon.
Definitely, we will announce it next week. It has been quite long in the coming, so to speak. It's been long in the design process, but we're really happy with the outcome, and we're looking forward to being able to reward cover purchasers and liquidity providers with this great NFT series. And I must say again, the design team have done a huge job in terms of the work they put around creating the animations and obviously the NFTs themselves, creating them. The tech team have done a great job as well of implementing the smart contracts and executing them. So looking forward to getting that out into the marketplace, and I promise there will be an official date announcement next week.
I mean, all we can say actually is that it's sooner than you think, right? We will announce next week and it will be sooner than you think. So I think that's pretty good. So everyone hold on a few more days, stay with us. We're almost there. It's sooner than you think.
Right.
So the next question is actually related, and the answer, I think it will be pretty similar, but let's see, from when we can mint the NFT. I think that's more related. How are you interacting with the ecosystem? That's when, after the launch date, it will be relative to how your interaction is with the marketplace, right? That's what I'm getting from your explanation, Edward.
Yes, exactly. So the NFT portal will launch, and so the first thing is that you'll need to have an active cover policy in place, or you'll need to actively be providing liquidity in order to mint the first soulbound token. And as I said, that really marks the start of the progression through the NFT collection series. So you get onboarded with this soulbound token. Now, once you have that soulbound token, so let's say you purchase a cover policy for $10, you get your soulbound token, and from that point, your historical activity in the marketplace will be picked up. So we've had a number of questions, I think, in the Discord channel about, the fact that many users have already purchased quite significant amounts of policy, or provided quite significant amounts of liquidity to different cover pools, which is great, and that will be taken into account only after you have your soulbound token, for which you will need to have an active policy in place. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Edward, for giving that explanation. So everyone heard it. Go interact with the ecosystem, and you will be rewarded in many, many ways, not just the NFTs. So right now we can give it a few minutes to see if the community has any more questions. You can drop it in the chat, and we'll address them right here live with co-founder Edward. If not, we can end today's session. So go ahead and drop your questions. We'll give it a few minutes, guys. Okay, amazing. If we addressed all the questions from the community, if we got through everything for today, for the month of June, I want to thank everyone for joining today's AMA with co-founder Edward. I want to thank you, Edward, for taking time of your busy schedule to join us here and addressing the Neptunite community live. And I'm very excited for next month's monthly town hall, since I'm sure the NFT portal will be live already, and then there will be more exciting news to share. So thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. Edward, thank you so much for your time.
Yep, it's a pleasure, and always great to answer questions from the community. So thanks for following us. Keep following us. More news coming up very, very soon.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing week and an amazing weekend. See you next time.